Hi, I'm Mark and I'm passionate about English, and welcome to another mini lesson. And this is another kind of taster lesson to give you an example of what's going to be in the courses. The first course will be available the 1st or the 2nd of September. The 1st is a Sunday, so it's more likely to be the 2nd of September on Monday. And yes, in each 3-hour lesson I will be probably doing a questionnaire. These questionnaires have a lot of useful language, and because questions, which is something you... let me just ask Sonia. Sonia, do you think this is one problem people learning English have? Because I believe that because when you learn a language with a teacher, the teacher is usually the one asking the questions, as I am now.
True, yes.
So students often don't learn to ask questions so much, so they're not so proactive in conversations.
I think that's very true, because they're often in situations where they are asked questions by the teacher, by the host family.
Yeah.
Generally when they're out, because they're in a foreign country, people are interested in them.
Yeah.
And yes, they don't learn to ask questions so much.
And of course, if you want to have a good conversation, you need to ask questions.
I think so, otherwise it's a little bit one-sided, and one side might lose a bit of interest if they're the ones asking all the questions and there's no interest shown in the other person.
And one thing I often used to teach, especially when I taught English in Japan, is "and you."
Mm-hmm.
So I say, "Where are you from?"
Yeah, I'm from Switzerland. And you?
And you, yeah. But very often students just answer and say, "I'm from Switzerland." So there's no real...
I think that's a very good point, and quite important, because it just makes it more hard work for the person that's trying to have a conversation with them as well.
So it's not a natural conversation, it's more kind of an interview, or...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is, as I said, a bit of a taster. I love these kind of questionnaires.
You do.
And I hope you love them too. And I would really recommend that you also take part. You write down your answers, and then I will give you the sort of analysis at the end. Well, it's not my analysis, it's the analysis of the magazine, which, as I mentioned in another mini lesson, is called Psychologies, and I'll put the website address at the bottom of the screen, and you can probably find lots of sorry, Louisa is distracting us both.
She's trying to fly.
She's still not ready, but another few days. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that on the website you can actually do questionnaires as well. And I believe it's very interesting. It's not everyone's cup of tea, it's not everyone's thing, but a lot of useful language. So Sonia, you're ready? It's just 10 questions.
Okay.
So I will ask you the question, give you 4 choices, and you just write down A.
Multiple choice then, yeah.
Well, actually, don't write down A. Basically, A is 1 point.
Okay.
B is 2 points, C is 3, and D is 4. But don't think 4 is better than 1.
No.
It's not like that. So the title of this questionnaire is "What makes you happy?" An evening with friends, achieving a goal, being with your family, spending time alone. Happiness means different things to all of us. Take our test below to find out where in your life you are most likely to find joy. So before we start, what makes you happy?
Well, actually, not so much the achieving a goal, because I'm more of a live in the moment thing, but definitely family, friends, and being on my own. I can be quite happy on my own as well, reading a book or watching a film. But it is nice to share. I mean, I would say probably friends and family are up there for me.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect of the 4 types, you're going to come out as a person who enjoys sharing.
Probably. Yes.
Which I definitely wouldn't.
No. Yes, for me, life is about connecting with people, with things that interest you and to feel things.
Yeah. Whereas, well, what makes me happy?
What makes you happy? Playing bass guitar. I think you like being with people more than you maybe like to admit.
Well, maybe that's true.
Yes, because sharing and connecting, I think, is what makes most of us happy.
Yeah.
Unless we're hiding away from something. Perhaps.
Okay. But I also enjoy doing a lot of things on my own.
Yeah.
And also creating. I mean, doing these mini lessons has given me a lot of joy.
Yes.
I have to say, it's right up my street. Right
It
up my
is.
street means it's just right for me. I'm in control. I can be creative. I've got no one telling me what
But I
to
would
do.
say, even with you, yes, that's true. But when you're interacting with people in these interviews, you seem smilier, happier as well. So,
Okay, so let's begin the questionnaire. So 10 questions. So are you clear? A is 1 point, B is 2,
yeah.
3. C is 3 points, and D is
Yeah.
4 points. And so if you want to do this with us, that'd be great. Then I'll give you the little analysis at the end. So question 1: when it comes to happiness, you A, actively pursue it. B, let it come to you, so naturally. C, search for it inside yourself. Or D, savor it.
As always in these questionnaires, I want
Yeah.
to choose more than one answer.
Yeah, just choose the one that I don't know, that seems right without thinking, I
Yeah.
guess. Are you going to tell me?
Oh, I see. You want. Well, I think for me it's C, because I think happiness is inside ourselves. So yeah,
Okay.
it's connecting with something inside. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, you have a fortnight's holiday planned. Oh, we better explain fortnight. So a
2
very
weeks.
useful 2 weeks.
Fortnight,
yeah, it's a
yes.
very useful word, and we use it a lot in English.
Me too.
And very often we have a 2 weeks off work and go, well, Spain, Greece, Italy, a fortnight.
Yeah.
So you have a fortnight's holiday planned. You choose to A, go on a trip with some old friends. Now, I've explained old friends recently.
Doesn't mean they're old in age. It
They
means
could be.
You've known them a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
B, hire a beautiful house in the countryside for you and your family. C, enroll on a scuba diving course or another new class that takes your fancy.
Mm-hmm.
If something takes your fancy,
Means I feel like doing it. I feel like, yeah.
yeah. Or
takes
D,
an interest.
spend it on a desert island. Now, I'm not sure whether that means on your own or...
Probably on your own.
Yeah.
That means yes. Okay. Well, I think probably I would say A. Spend it with some good friends to share.
What a surprise. Okay,
Yeah.
so are you writing these down?
Oh, I'm doing both.
So, hang on.
Okay.
So go on a trip with some old friends is 1.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3. Choose the animal that best represents happiness to you. Okay, A, horse. B, elephant. C, bird. Or D, cat. So horse, elephant, bird, or cat. Now I'm going to guess you're going to say cat.
No, actually, yeah, cats come across as quite contented, but happy for me is a more active feeling in a way.
So bird.
A bird, because
Yeah.
flying and soaring above in the sky, I think.
I think that's what I would choose.
Yeah. So that's 3, isn't it? See?
And actually, I've just thought again about my baby seagull. There is a very, very beautiful. Well, it's kind of like a poem or a inspirational book. You know what I'm talking about?
Jonathan? No.
It's called Jonathan Livingston
Livingston
Seagull.
that's it.
You could read it in 30 minutes, but it's extremely.
I don't think I've ever read that.
It's
actually.
very
I
inspiring.
think, yeah.
It's all about a seagull who learns to fly and does his own thing. Actually, he's not part of the crowd of seagulls. He just enjoys.
Yeah, that's why it inspires you.
Okay, number 4.
Yep.
When you're happy, you A, jump for joy. We had that in a recent mini lesson. B, sit down and reflect on how you reached this point. C, immediately feel inspired to start a new project. Or D, close your eyes and savor the moment.
Definitely D for me there. Yes, I'm very much into
Oh,
savouring the moment.
Well, I think...
And appreciating the feeling rather than planning on
Yeah.
it or reflecting on it, but actually feeling it. And
So I was just going to ask you, it's one of those words which people probably wouldn't know, savour the moment, but you just said it.
I did. Savour the moment.
No, what did you, another word you used? Appreciate.
Appreciate,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I've got to keep checking on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 5. When it comes to music, you prefer to A, go to a concert with friends, B, buy a CD and listen to it when the mood takes you. When the mood takes you means when you feel like it. C, play an instrument yourself. I know you don't, but it could be an
I'd
answer.
like to, yes.
Or D, sing along to your favourite songs.
Again, it's more than one of those. I'd like to do all of them. Music's very important to me, and I love the feeling it gives me. It inspires me, not necessarily to start a new project, but just to savour the moment again and appreciate it in that time. But I also love going to concerts with friends. Live music, I love live music. So,
Well, I can't help you here. You need to choose one.
what was the other one?
Okay, go to a concert with friends, buy a CD and listen to it when the mood takes you, play an instrument yourself, or sing along to your favourite songs. But you're right, I would... Well, actually, I always imagine I'm going to enjoy going to a concert, but I often don't.
You often don't, but I do. Actually, I do like singing along, to my favourite music. So perhaps that's... I'd love to be able to play an instrument, but I don't. I'll go for D.
D. Sing along to your favourite songs, okay.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a great way to learn English.
It is, indeed.
All right. Oh, there's a picture of a woman smiling. And another picture, the same woman, but a different picture. Okay, so number 6. Which of the following statements best describes what happiness means to you? A, sharing. B, creating something. C, moving forward, progressing. Or D, taking a step back from daily life. So I suppose that means
Putting a little bit of distance and just, again, thinking and reflecting and
yeah.
just taking a step back, isn't it?
So doing something that's different to normal, something like that.
Well, of
you've
course,
forgotten the
me
answer.
being me, I wrote down A immediately because that's what life's about for me.
Of course.
So.
Of course. Whereas actually for me, I'd probably put creating something, I think.
Yes, that's lovely too. Yeah.
Okay, 7. Oh, here's an interesting one. The best way to die would be, well, A, during sex. B, surrounded by family and friends. C, while you're doing your favourite activity. Or D, in your sleep. So I'm sure I know what you will put for that.
Well, no, actually, because I think I'd probably go for C there. During my favourite activity.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be surrounded by
sleep.
family and friends.
No, because that sounds a little bit strange, surrounded by people and then you're dying. That's a bit strange. You can't share that then once you're gone.
Okay.
And you're leaving, hopefully, a lot of sad people behind.
Okay, so you better
So I
put
think
down
C.
C there.
Yeah.
All right. Question 8. When it comes to your home, your greatest pleasure is A, building it, B, living in it, C, renovating and decorating it. Renovating means improving and doing new things to the house. Or D, coming back to it after a long absence. And maybe you can complete this expression. Maybe you've been on holiday, had a great time, but when you come home you say there's
no place like home.
Exactly.
Yes. Again, I could go for all of those. I love decorating and renovating, but actually I think I've got very strong homemaking part in me, so I love making a place nice. The transformation of it is what I get most pleasure from.
So what, renovating and decorating?
No, more the making it nice to start with. I think the A.
Building it?
Building it.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't have to mean... No,
it doesn't mean building it as in bricks and building a
Yeah.
house, but building it as in something...
When you move there...
When you move in, making it your own and
Yeah,
making it
okay.
nice and comfortable and cosy and... Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Have you written it down?
No.
Okay, question 9, 2 more to go. So maybe you don't have a child, but imagine that you do. When spending time with your child, you find that you mostly enjoy A, playing with them, B, watching them grow, C, teaching them, or D, listening to them.
Okay, that's easy for me. I think that's definitely D, because I think children are very inspiring, because they're just fresh and real and not constrained by what we learn in life that we mustn't do and we shouldn't do, and they're very natural and joyful in general.
So we call this conditioning, don't we?
Yes.
As we get older, we feel we should do this, we should do that because of what people expect. But the more you can remain like a child,
In a way, that's
not
true,
child.
yes.
Oh,
Not childish, but childlike.
Childlike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Exactly. Okay, question 10. The greatest happiness for you would be to A, save someone's life, B, be awarded an Oscar or a Nobel Prize, C, ascend, which means climb, a beautiful mountain and watch a sunset that lifts your soul, or D, fall asleep with your child in your arms.
Well, C and D, definitely. I suppose, yes, my child is now a grown woman, so that's definitely enjoyed that. So now I would go more for C. But that is a very precious, special feeling.
Okay, have you written it down?
I will do now.
So that's the end of the questionnaires. So while you are... So basically you've got to make sure A is 1 point, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4. So you've done that already? Okay, so this is the point where I need to be very careful that the red light is still on the camera, because it turns off after 30 minutes.
Okay.
It is. So can you tell me your total?
My total is 28.
Wow. Well, it's not actually wow, because
It's not about high.
it's not a... No, it isn't.
Well, that's what you said in the beginning.
Yeah, I did say that. So if you scored between 10 and 18 points, you are the sharer, which I would have imagined you were.
Yeah.
Your happiness comes from taking part in activities with others. You enjoy getting ready with friends before you go out, or participating in group activities, such as doing up a friend's house or helping them move. You like to feel that you belong to something, and you feel this most strongly when you are taking part in a shared task or activity. Focusing on this alone can be limited. You may find that your happiness is too dependent on stimulation from others, or that you need to have others around you in order to feel at your best. However, there are also advantages to your attitude and way of life. You express yourself well, you know how to come across to others, and you are an excellent communicator. Happiness is a gift, and, as far as you are concerned, sharing it can only increase it. So that does sound like you,
Yes.
but according to the score, it isn't really you.
Well, I would dispute that because, like I say, I could probably say yes to A, B, C, or
Yeah.
D. You have to make a choice, and sometimes, there are other reasons for choosing another one.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one, and I just also want to say again that in the actual courses I will explain a lot of this language because this is a mini lesson and I'm trying to make sure it's not too long. I won't do that now, but in the mini lesson I will really explain everything I think you might not understand, and then you could listen to the lesson again and maybe again and again, and you'd start really getting more and more confident and understanding it very well. So if you scored between 19 points and 24, you are called the achiever. You find that you are happiest when you have achieved something you have been working towards, whether it's a material or personal goal. But it's not all about you. Happiness also comes when you have helped someone else to feel happy. For example, playing with your children or watching your friends enjoy themselves at a party you've organized. You like to feel emotionally connected to people and things around you, but be careful that you don't rely too much on material things and that you don't become dissatisfied or unhappy when you fail to achieve your goals. Recognize and celebrate the fact that your love of achievement can be a powerful source of energy, one that can spur you into creativity. So again, there's several words that I would explain in the course, but one in particular is material things.
Things you can buy, basically.
So does buying an expensive car make you happy?
Certainly not me, no, which is why I prefer sharing things with friends and experiencing things rather than buying.
So material things, TV, car, which we often think will make us happy, but actually maybe they do for a little while.
Short term,
but
yes.
not deep happiness. Okay, I'm going to miss the next section, so then I come back to you. So if you scored between 31 and 40 points, you are the individualist. Your happiness derives from being slightly distanced from the world around you. You like to feel detached from your immediate surroundings, but you are not indifferent to them. In fact, your moments of happiness may come from the environment, watching a sunrise while the rest of the world is still sleeping, listening to a favorite piece of music, or simply becoming aware that you feel serene and happy in yourself. Your happiness depends on a mixture of being receptive to what's around you, while also feeling relaxed and distanced from life's daily grind. Daily grind means going to work, commuting, and cooking, etc. You like to observe the world without feeling totally immersed in it. Be careful that your love of calm and serenity doesn't turn into a passive attitude to life, or that you don't become too distanced from life's battles. On the plus side, your type of happiness will help you to develop reserves of inner peace and tolerance, which can serve as an excellent foundation from which to take on the world. Take on the world means deal with life.
Yes, actively. And
Yeah. So, does that sound like me?
maybe a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, to me, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go back to the third type of happiness person. If you scored between 25 and 30 points, you are called the artisan, which I guess is connected with creativity. You feel at your happiest when you are completely engaged in an activity that you enjoy, particularly if you find that you have a talent for it. Psychologists describe this state as flow. Reading, playing music or sport, doing DIY, do it yourself, cooking, all of these are activities that provide a sense of flow and happiness. You take great pleasure both in what you are doing and in the feeling of being totally absorbed by something that demands your skill and attention. The only risk is that preferring to focus solely on activities that you enjoy and that require practice or dedication can mean that you don't develop other interests. In extreme cases, it can also lead to a tendency to be slightly arrogant. However, the joy of mastering something can be immensely uplifting. It nourishes you, gives you strength, and enables you to transcend yourself.
Yes, I would say I'm quite happy with that description, because I try to practice mindfulness meditation, which means you're concentrating or focusing on whatever you're doing, and whether that is cooking or being with friends, having a conversation, doing whatever you're doing there in the present moment.
Okay, so well, we could talk about this quite a bit, but it's basically, yes, being here,
Yes.
and not thinking about the past or the future, worrying about the future. And of course, a very famous book and CDs and so on by Eckhart Tolle,
Power of now.
The Power of Now. So the more you can be present and live in the moment, the happier.
Appreciate the moment. And
Well, it's not
rather
actually,
than striving or thinking about the past or worrying about the future, it's about
yeah.
staying in the moment, where most of us are.
And in a
maybe
way,
okay.
the word happy is not perhaps the right word.
No.
What would be a better word?
I think contented
Yeah.
is a better word.
So content is whatever happens, you are okay.
Yes, because often striving for happiness is something you are trying to achieve rather than
Yeah.
living. So yes, I think being contented in the moment is a pretty good goal, and if there has to be a goal.
Okay, so before we get too deep and
Yes.
serious, I hope to do this in the courses. As I said, it may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I kind of hope that if some of you are quite a bit younger than me, I can somehow
Inspire? perhaps?
inspire, guide, help. Very often younger people don't like listening to older people, but it's generally not a bad thing to do.
No, and it's a little bit of a generalisation. I think there are a lot of older people that perhaps are not like that, and a lot of younger people that are. So again, it's an individual thing. And yeah.
Okay, Sonia, I think this has been an enlightening
Oh well.
lesson. So thank you very much again,
Thank you.
and
It's been a pleasure.
it's been a pleasure. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.